Howdy peeps, this is Mellow Magog here back again with some more weak auras. Today, as you can see, this is going to be for a hunter, and specifically the Survival Hunter spec. I really enjoy Survival Hunter. I liked it last expansion when it was like, you know, that plate trick where you're trying to keep like 10 plates spinning all at once. It's not nearly as complex as it used to be last expansion, but it's still got some nice flow, some nice procs, some nice reactions. You can make it more complicated if you like, but there's nowhere near the like 8 different cooldowns you're tracking like it was in Legion. So this is my Survival Hunter. Her name is Ismeni. Let's get rid of that. As you can see, she's Nightborn. I really like her transmog. I really like most of my tunes transmogs. But let us start with these talents first. So, as usual, I have my opinions on talents, and there's the quote-unquote correct opinions on talents. Those correct quote-unquote is mostly from like the super serial hardcore raiders or mythic plusers or whatever. I always try to look at it as, okay, what's going to be simplest, what not necessarily simplest, but what's going to take the least amount of headache for me to track, especially on these tunes that aren't my main. It's just tunes that I enjoy playing as my alts that I get decently geared on. I don't really raid on my alts anymore. It's just too much time involved, and I got lots of stuff to do. So, this first tier, let's see. So we got Viper's Venom, Raptor Strike, blah 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 blah. That is nice. It gives you free procs. Procs are always good, I think, because it kind of keeps your rotation fresh. It keeps you from just going 1 2 3 3 3 1 2 3 3 3 forever. So procs kind of make you make decisions and react to kind of things. I like them. In terms of engagement, I feel like is not that good, because you have to get out of the group or away from melee to actually use it very effectively. And then Alpha Predator, I think, is also a decent option. I actually need to update the weak aura for that. I will do that because I didn't even think about Alpha Predator. But I'll do that before. You won't see it in the video, but I'll do that for the paste bin weak auras after the video. So I think Viper's Venom and Alpha Predator are your choices. So Viper's Venom, like I said, it gives you procs. It's nice. Alpha Predator kind of makes your rotation a little simpler, I think. Or no, makes it less simpler. I don't. It makes it so that you are allowed to delay kill command more. Like, you don't always have to get kill command on cooldown. But saying that, kill command for survival generates focus. It is a builder, whereas Raptor Strike is your spender. Wildfire Bomb, Serpent Sting is also a spender, and then Carve is a spender. But this is different than Beastmaster, I think, where kill command is a spender, whereas again for survival it's a generator. So, but the thing with survival is you never want focus is your most important resource, but you never want to cap it. So with kill command being a generator, yes, you always want to be hitting it on cooldown, but it is more important to spend on a Raptor Strike than it is to generate on a kill command if you were going to cap, if that makes sense. So there are times when I will sit on a kill command, like if I've gotten a bunch of resets in a row or something, you know what I mean? Well, you'll see that when we get to the target dumping. Alright, next talent row. So I believe both Guerrilla Tactics and Hydra's Bite are both adequate options. I think Butchery is less so. I think Butchery, the only time it really shines is in AoE where you have to kill things quickly. But I feel like talenting for specific circumstances is something you really only ever want to do for progression. Whereas again, I'm coming at this for more of an alts, a fun, kind of do it because I like doing it, not do it because this is my job as the player right now. So, Hydra's Bite gives your Serpent Stings, it hits 2 nearbys and its damage is increased. One thing I've noticed about this is if the targets are not in combat, it will not do the jump. So if you have 2 mobs standing right next to each other and you Serpent Sting one of them, if you are not in combat with either of them yet, it will only target the one. That, I think, changed how cleave abilities like that worked from Legion to BFA, but I'm not 100% sure. It's just something that if I'm out questing and doing world quests and I want to hit Serpent Sting with all of them, I'll send in my pet first with a kill command to get in combat with them, then I will follow up with the Serpent Sting. Guerrilla Tactics is Waterfire Bomb now has 2 charges, deals 100% more. It's just both Hydra's Bite and Guerrilla Tactics, I believe, are adequate choices. They both kind of increase AoE damage in different ways. I think Hydra's Bite really synergizes with Viper's Venom, though, which is why I kind of do these two. Like, not to say this is worthless without this, but just the synergy, I think, helps cement these two together. Whereas maybe if you wanted to take Guerrilla Tactics, it might be better to take Alpha Predator. I don't know if it is or not. It's something you could play with. But, yeah, so here's 45 talent. This is mainly a whatever talent. I like taking Trailblazer because, again, this is my tune I'm mostly doing world quests on, maybe running a dungeon once a month, maybe, kind of thing. But I think Natural Mending is usually the quote-unquote correct choice. You're going to get, what is Acceleration's cooldown? 2 minutes. So for every 20 focus, you're focus generating, I don't know, it's stupid stat panel thing that Blizzard did where you can't see half your stuff anymore. But you might get it down to 1.5 minutes. This is entirely how proactive you are on your own health management. So if you're the kind of person who is like, whatever, it's the healer's job to heal me, you're not going to get much use out of this kind of thing. And I think Camouflage is just like I think it's left over from when that used to be Survival's thing back, was that Kata or Mop or WAD or something, whatever, they did the last major rework. Alright, so the level 60 tier here, we've got a kill command gives a bleed, and it increases your attack speed for bleeds. I think this also counts for rogue and warrior bleeds. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it does. So this is going to be better the more people you have in your group that have bleeds. Or, it's not just rogue and warrior, it's rogue, it's warrior, it's kitties, it's Zandalari trolls with the Kimball as their Loa, because that's a bleed. There's a handful of bleeds around, so this is probably going to scale better than these other two. I think Murder of Crows for survival is not that good. I think it's better for the other specs of Hunter. And then Steel Trap, again, I think is just a leftover from when traps were survival's thing. So I think these two options are not good for survival because Bloodseeker scales so well in group content, especially the more bleeders you have with you. Level 75 talents. These again are kind of a whatever tier, like the 45. Pick what you want. I think this is the quote correct. I need to stop saying that because I'm sure it's getting annoying. This is like your CC. If they get away from it, they get rooted or stunned, which would used to be the super annoying thing in arenas. I take this just because, again, if I'm doing this for world quests and just to be quick about it, I want these things to be up as quickly as I can so I can do my sprint or my invulnerability or my whatever, my DPS cooldown. Or is that? No, Eagle isn't DPS cooldown, is it? Okay, no. Eagle aspect of the eagle is you're ranged. I'm gonna shoot eagles out of my sword ability, which technically has a DPS increase. If for some reason you can't be in melee range, you hit eagle and you start shooting eagles at them. We'll show that when we get on the target dummy. Alright, level 90. So, this is a talent row that I have issues with the conventional thinking. So, let's start with Mongoose Bite. Mongoose Bite is what Survival had last expansion, and that was its shtick. That was all Survival was worried about, was getting as many Mongoose Bites in your window as possible, and then, like I said earlier, keeping those other 9 plates spinning at the same time. So you had all your cooldowns, your caltrops, your wildfire potions, all of that kind of stuff, and then you had your get 15 Mongoose Bites in 8 seconds or whatever you had to do, and that was where the lion's share of your damage came from. I didn't like that playstyle as much because it's a burn and it's a feast or famine, where it's like you're going to do great damage for 20 seconds and then you're going to peter out and you're going to average out and then you're going to do great damage for 20 seconds. I feel like that kind of playstyle may be fun to you. I don't like it that much. But this is kind of what that tries to emulate. It's obviously not as... It's not as integral to the spec as it used to be, as seen by them making it a talent. But this is what all the guides are going to tell you to take. But if you actually read into the numbers and do that kind of stuff, this is not that much different than this in terms of damage. So this is what I've called a noob trap in the past, where played perfectly, might be the right answer. But if you don't play perfectly, this is actually going to be worse than taking this passive. So I feel like I really dislike those kind of guides that just say, take Mongoose Bite, and then they don't really explain it. But if you read into it and you kind of figure out what the talent requires and what the options are and what you're giving up, that this can actually do less damage because you're not using it perfectly, and you'd be much better off just taking this one. So that's what I do. Again, I didn't even notice that before. That's the same thing as my weapon. Oh ho ho. That's the same weapon I've got. Wow. Alright, cool. I swear I didn't set the transmog up like that. I've had this transmog for a long time without paying attention to that. That's cool. Alright, back to the talents. Flanking Strike, I feel in a similar situation. It's a longer cooldown. It's going to do a lot of damage and a lot of focus, but I feel like this might be more useful in like Mythic Pluses, where like you might get to use it every trash pack, just because you're running between packs, so you might be able to open with it and burn down an important ad quick. I could kind of probably get behind that. I don't have a weak aura set up for that though, because I don't do really Mythic Pluses on this tune. But if people want, I could, but I'm not gonna set that up right now. If you wanted to, you could just copy one of the things, modify it. I thought I had a video at one point that kind of showed a basic. It might have been on my other channel, but maybe I'll do that at some point soon as well. But yeah, I would take Tip of the Spear. Don't fall into this trap. And then we have the final talent tree, or talent line, excuse me. So we got Birds of Prey. There's been a couple of different versions of this where you get your, like Frost Mage had it at one point, where like icicles would extend the duration of Icy Veins and stuff like that. So this is when you're attacking the same target as your pet, your Raptor Strike and Carve extends your Coordinate Assault, which is your DPS cooldown here. And so you get more time on it as long as you're tunneling, basically, which is good. I like it, because this increases all of your damage by 20%, and you get increased kill command resets, which is good. This one I feel like has a bit of more of a playstyle change. So Wildfire Infusion, your bombs will I don't know if it's randomly or if it's always ABC, but each one of your bombs will do something slightly different. I think for the blue bomb and the green bomb, which is the shrapnel and the volatile, there's not a ton that changes in your rotation. It's the red bomb. So kill command will reset 100% while that is up. So these things last, the pheromone I think lasts for 5 seconds. So you're gonna get reset kill command 4 or 5 times in a row, which means you have to pay attention a little bit more, where if you see you've got a red bomb as your next one, you've got to dump focus so that when the pheromone bomb comes up, you throw your wildfire bomb, you can kill command, kill command, kill command, kill command, kill command without capping focus. Because remember what I said earlier, focus is your most valuable asset because most of your damage is going to come from Raptor Strike. Like your pet and kill command doesn't do that much. Wildfire bomb and serpent sting don't really do all that much. The lion's share of your damage is Raptor Strike, so the more focus you can dump into it, the better. Alright, so that's a long-winded. Let's start looking at some of these weak auras. So we got this guy over here. So let's go. So here we have, let me put him on assist. So this little thing there, do you see that pop up around the Serpent Sting? So this is showing you how much longer you've got on Serpent Sting, but I can't open my talents. So this little green thing, this is the Viper's Venom. So your next one is free, and it does 250% damage. So that's what that is there for. You always want to throw that up, and you always want to try to hit that before you do another Raptor Strike, because Raptor Strike is the thing that has the chance to reset that. So this is pretty much the priority you want to keep them in, though. So you want your Serpent Sting up, you always want to do that. If it procs, you want to try to get your Wildfire Bomb right when it comes off cooldown, and if possible, not cap on kill command, but that is your least important thing. So here we've got our focus. See, that just procced and reset a kill command. And then this under here is my pet health bar. I like having that up. Just to see if like my pet was taking damage, I could heal him with Exhilaration or Mend Pet. So this seems pretty good. I mean, I'm talking and I'm kind of trying to think about what I'm saying, so I'm kind of messing up my rotation a little bit. Not too much, hopefully. I know I've missed a couple of kill commands where it sat there for a couple of seconds. Alright, let's get out of combat and swap out to the next set, because there is another... Oh, nope, come back. I think that was a trinket proccing, that like lightning bolt thing there. Yep, alright. So let's swap to Guerrilla Tactics, because there's another talent. So that is going to be... You didn't really see Hydra's Bite. I could have gone without it, but whatever. It gave me a reason to get out of combat and show this change. So now... see here that Wildfire Bomb has 2 charges, and it's tracking that now. So you can cast these whenever, and this is the same thing for Kill Command with that other talent, where, you know what, let's just do that right now. So, come here, Ash. Alright, nope, come back. We're just going to do that right now to show how it's done. It'll be quick, easy. So, whoop, we're going to open Weak Auras, we're going to go up to Kill Command, and we are going to edit this. Where is it? Load. There we go. To a talent selected, and we are going to do Viper's Venom. Why is this not alphabetical? Because that would be silly. Oh, it's in terms of thing. Alright, so now let's click off this. Alright, we're going to duplicate this, and we're going to call this one... Whoops. Nope, I need my talents. There we go. We're going to call this one Kill Command Alpha Predator. We're going to change this talent to Alpha Predator. We're going to change it to Alpha Predator so it loads. I'm like, where'd it go? and then we are going to go down here and turn on show text to get the thing on there. Alright, so let's go back again. So we have both Alpha Predator and Guerrilla Tactics now. So now we have those stat counters on both of those. So now you have less likely chance to overcap, as it were, and I'm still going to overcap because I'm not paying attention. I gotta burn focus. Oh man, this is a lot harder to burn focus with this. Okay, yeah, it takes a couple more seconds. But now we don't have Viper's Venom, so that thing is not proccing as much, or at all, since we don't have it. Oh man, those resets are going to be rough. Man, and I'm letting that... Yeah, I'm playing like horse shit now, because I'm trying to watch a lot more stuff than I'm used to. And I'm not getting the free proc, so I'm having to... That's one thing that's interesting, man. Because if I'm not getting the free procs... Come on here, come on. There we go. Alright. Nope. Come on, leave combat. Okay. If you're not getting the free procs from Viper's Venom, you are spending a lot more focus reapplying Serpent Sting. So, yes, you're getting more focus because you're getting more kill commands, because you are almost never going to waste a kill command at that point. But you're spending more focus because you're applying that, because you're not getting free ones here. So, I'm going to change back to these. I hope you liked the video. I hope it was informative. I will get these weak auras linked in the comment below, or the description below. And you all have a good night. I will see you later, peeps. Bye-bye.